Hey everyone, it's Kristen and Phoenix, and we are here for Phoenix's 4-week update. He's a little cranky right now, so I'm hoping that we can get through this without any crying. In reality, he has been pretty cranky for the past week. I don't want to say that he's a fussy baby just because I don't really want to have a fussy baby, which I know sounds kind of bad, but it's just, I really want him to be content. The majority of my babies have been kind of cranky, at least for a period of time. And I've had a couple who are laid back, and I would just really go for a laid back baby. So I guess right now I'm trying to say it's a little bit more of, of how old he is and just starting to wake up and kind of come into the world and be a little bit more alert and trying to figure things out. I don't think he wants me to hold him forward though right now, but we'll try. So I'm just, I'm kind of trying to make excuses for him. I do think, like I talked about last week, I do think that being at home and even when we're out and about, really trying to work more on keeping him a little bit more regular with the naps and paying attention to his sleep cues and that sort of thing, and not letting him snack constantly does help. I feel like on the days when he's had more sleep and where his nursings have been spaced out a little, like two hours, sometimes every 3 hours, I start to get uncomfortable if he goes 3 hours. But especially if his nursings are not like constantly because it's easy when you're nursing to just, nursing is the answer to everything. So to nurse if he's cranky, but I think he ultimately gets more cranky because some of those cues are really sleepy cues, not I want to nurse cues. And he's actually pretty good about if he's really sleepy, and he's yawning right now, but he just woke up. So if he's sleepy and I start seeing yawning after he's been up for a little bit, and swaddle him, he'll often fall asleep. Even he doesn't have to nurse to sleep. Now, he doesn't want me to put him down. I'm not going to lie about that. He doesn't want to be put down to sleep, but he will fall asleep and sleep with me. He'll also sleep in the baby carrier, which I'll talk about a little bit more. But it's just been, I think he is awake more, and especially sometimes I'll feel like he needs to go to sleep and he just won't. I think he's kind of like my 5th baby in that I think he doesn't do well when he's asleep or when he's awake a lot. She needed a lot of sleep. She was my longest morning napper. She kept her morning nap until she was like 18 or 20 months old, which is way longer than my other ones. And she still is a really good sleeper today at 6 years old. And I think that Phoenix is kind of similar. He seems to really get tired even after a half an hour of being awake. And certainly an hour is pushing it. Like in our homeschool schedule, I kind of have him penciled in. I don't stick to it like the letter of the law, but I penciled in kind of hour and a half breaks because I figured as a newborn he won't be doing that, or at hour and a half wake periods, but as he gets bigger, he'll be able to do that, and he's still like nowhere close. So I way overestimated the amount of time he would be able to be awake, which could be, I could possibly just not be remembering, but also possibly he needs more sleep than some of my other babies have. And I think part of it's because he's big, and so he's just spending a lot of time, it takes a lot of energy to be him, I think, to be a big baby, and so he sleeps more. When he's awake, he's really alert, like he is kind of right now. So I'm not worried about him because he's not lethargic or anything. But he just does seem to need more sleep. So let's see, what else has gone on this week? I don't think that anything seriously exciting happened. We went to a business meeting on Monday, and that went well. And I didn't end up going back to the breastfeeding group because I just wanted to get home. So we went to the business meeting, and then I feel like there was something after that I'm not remembering. My brain is still very foggy. On Wednesday, Scott took me into town to grocery shop. We grocery shopped together. that's really nice still to be able to have him to help. I'm definitely not taking it for granted. Sometimes it's difficult to have a daddy who's an at-home daddy and like to have the whole family together for sure. Even like right now when I'm so glad to have him here, but other times it's really nice. Like I'm starting to get back into doing the things that I normally do, but it's been really nice, like having extended help with meal prep and everything like that. So it's been really nice, and it's really nice to have him able to drive me places and to be there with me when we shop. Like we did our beginning of the month run. So we went to Sam's Club and everything, and, you know, he handled all of it, and we ended up with 2 buggies at the grocery store, and I don't know, I wouldn't have been able to do it without him, because we usually stock up on all of our staples and everything at the beginning of the month, so that was nice to have him there, and Phoenix did well with that. We just nursed. I usually, if I'm somewhere like that, if I'm shopping, I like to nurse in the van, because it's just much more comfortable. And when I'm not driving, it's especially easy because, I mean, not while we're driving. Like when we're parked in the parking lot, right, y'all? I have my baby in a car seat when we're driving. But when we park, I can bring him up to the front seat and nurse him. And if somebody at parking lot at the grocery store looks in and sees that I'm nursing my baby, oh well, you know, I don't really care. But, you know, having him there, it's much easier, and he can like help me. He can hold Phoenix like when I'm getting up to get things arranged, or hold him when I finish, and he holds him for a minute while I get out and go buckle him in, or he gets him out of the car seat and brings him to me. So it's really nice. Anyways, and then bless you, bless you, bless you. It's that sunlight. It's that sunlight. We went to co-op on Thursday afternoon again with the kids, and that went well. He actually did pretty well at co-op. I wanted him to sleep a little bit more, but I was able to get him to sleep. It was at a church. They have a little nursery room, so there was one point where I stay with my younger ones during the co-op right now. I haven't volunteered to do any co-op classes, which the moms understand because I got a newborn, but so I've been just kind of staying and helping with the younger ones and that sort of thing, the younger kids group, because I have 3 kids in that group. And anyways, but there's one point where they're on a nature walk, and we haven't gone to do the nature walk with them yet. I have actually only sent Honor on the nature walk, and then Corwin, Phoenix, and Sadie and I all went into the little nursery area, and they have a nice comfy rocker, so I was able to rock him, and that worked well. So even though we did have to go out and about a little bit, I definitely tried to keep more to his routine and watching him for tiredness, and when do I really want him to kind of be tired and sleepy. And I feel like he did better on the days when we were home. He does better when we're home, period. But he's done really well and during the day for the most part, even though he still likes to be held. So I'm going to try and show it to y'all at the end of the video. But I know that y'all heard me talk about the Mai Tai during my pregnancy videos that I really wanted. And I actually had a subscriber from Australia send me the money to get that, because she didn't order it because she's not in the United States, but she sent me the money and said that's what it's for. I hope you can get that with it, that the conversion would be enough, and it was. So that was really, really awesome. I was like so happy. It's a one of a kind. It's a baby hawk, and I should use the appropriate term, because I think Mai Tai was a mistranslation, which is interesting to me. I was reading the information that Baby Hawk linked to about it, because it's called a me dai. I think that's the Cantonese pronunciation, and I don't remember what the Chinese variation was. I apologize for that. But I think that was the Cantonese variation. And anyways, but the entire article was talking about cultural appropriation and everything, and I have varying views on that I won't go into. But it was talking about mistranslations and stuff of the Asian baby carriers, and like not mentioning where they came from. And I guess that was an interesting thought to me, because when I started baby wearing, sorry, I have baby stuff on me, guys. But when I started baby wearing was when Cassidy was a baby, so 16 years ago. And anytime you saw a traditional baby carrier, like I actually had a Podigi, I didn't get it with Cassidy, I had it with Brennan, my third baby. That's a Korean baby carrier. But anytime you bought a baby carrier like that, it always had the information about the culture from which that baby carrier was traditionally from. And so it was interesting to me to read this article that Baby Hawk linked to, talking about people, I guess, trying to appropriate that, because when I was learning about baby carriers and Mai Tais were around then, they were called Mai Tais then. So again, apparently that's a mistranslation. Maybe one person mistranslated it, but they're supposed to be a me dai. And but I mean, we read about the culture from which those baby carriers came. So I don't know, maybe people don't talk about that anymore, but I remember it because I thought it was really interesting to learn about the different cultures from which the carriers came. And I actually have a book, I might try and remember to show it to y'all, called Babies Celebrated. And that book is a beautiful book with lots of photography of mothers and babies and families all over the world. And it shows all kinds of different baby carrying styles that are traditional in many different cultures, and some, like there's some African styles that look like a goatskin ergo. You know, it's really interesting, I think, to look at them. What do you think? And I think it's interesting to know the cultures that they came from. Just like I think it's interesting to know some midwifery techniques. And then I also think that it's interesting to know that like every culture pretty much had something. It's just different depending on different cultures. So anyways, but the Medai is a Chinese style baby carrier, which are Cantonese also. I never had one before, but I wanted it because you can do a back carrier with a smaller baby. So like I said, I'll try and put it on the end of this because it took forever to come in. It's a one-of-a-kind print, and I don't know if that meant that they shipped slower or what. But it took a while to come in, and I'm so grateful it did, because carrying him on my front, I wanted the carrier because I'm going to be going to births. You know, I'll be back on call here in 5 weeks or so, which is crazy. But, you know, I wanted to have something I could carry him in to go to births before he's big enough for the ergo. Like, and he's like developmentally needs to be ready for the ergo, even though he's big. But I was not expecting that wearing him in a front carrier, like, kills my back. He is massive, and wearing him in a wrap or like a baby katan up high, like totally killed my lower back. If I wear him in the front, I can wear him in the front in the Medai carrier, and I can also wear him in the front in the sling, because I can position him a little bit better to where he's not putting so much stress on my back because he's so high up. But anyways, I was so happy to get a back carrier because it's just so much easier, and also the weight is really distributed much better because my waist takes a lot of the weight, and it's not just all up here on my, like on my shoulders and on my upper back, and then like on my lower back. It's really sitting much more on my hips, which actually I think is probably why he didn't kill my back when I was pregnant with him, was because my hips were distributing a lot of the weight. But anyways, I can put him in the back carrier. I've been experimenting some. I do not need to put him in a super high back carry, which is what's recommended and what I tried to do at first. And I just don't think it's necessary, because the super high back carry, so you can make sure he's breathing and everything. And I don't put him as low down as I will when he's bigger, like as low down as the ergo, because that makes it harder for him to sit on my back because of the way he has to spread my legs across the wider part of my hips. But I've found that mid back works really well. In the high back carry, you tie pretty much directly under the breasts, and that gets him up there, but I just don't think that he needs to be up there, because when he's down a little bit lower, I can still hear his breathing. He's still comfortably seated. When he falls asleep, he's well supported. So I would say he's been in like a slightly lower high back carry, because he's not as low as in the ergo or when you wear an older baby, but he's also not quite so high as the newborn back carry videos showed. Maybe for a smaller baby, I would need to do that, but I guess he's such a chunk. He's so long even, and obviously, you know, y'all can see that he's tubby. So anyways, let me see if I can bring this down so y'all can see him a little better. So that's been one of the big fun things about the past week, is being able to put him in that. And that is relevant with his sleeping and everything, because for his morning nap, I've pretty much given up on trying to put him down. And I've just put him in there and he falls asleep, and he sleeps for, you know, a good couple of hours in there. I usually have him in there while I'm making lunch and then take him off after I finish lunch. So he ends up with a couple of hours in that carrier. And he seems comfy and cozy and he sleeps well, and I'm not going to fight him on it right now. I'm still trying to get him into the habit of the afternoon nap in the rock and play. And he's taken a nice nap in the rock and play a couple times, but it's not consistent yet. So we're still working on that. Yeah. I'm trying to be chill and believe that it'll come. And again, I've definitely struggled some this week with feelings of I can't put him down. It's easier if I can put him in a back carrier or in a well-supported front carry, because then I've got my hands free. And I feel like I can do some things, like I can tidy in my room. And my room is not as crazy as it has been, which makes me feel a lot better. But anyways, let's think about other things going on with me. I know I talked about my bleeding some last week, and I'm happy to say that I think it's stopping. Yeah. So I had 2 days with none, and then a day with like a spot, and then I've gone back to none. So I think it's getting done, but it's just kind of slowly getting done. So that makes me happy. Another thing is my nails. This is one of the things I've been meaning to mention, but my nails are still like doing the pregnancy thing. They're still crazy growing, and I actually feel really bad because I got his little nose at one point with a nail. So I'm trying to keep them clipped, but I was noticing before I started this video that, geez, I need to clip my nails again. So I shouldn't complain. I don't feel like my hair is doing, I'm not starting to shed hair yet, which I know will start because I've had that after every baby. But I definitely feel like my hair isn't looking as nice, and right now it desperately needs to be washed. So please forgive me, ladies. But my nails are still like crazy pregnancy nails, so I guess I'll enjoy that while it comes. I feel pretty good. Definitely don't feel like down or in the dumps or anything, but you know, I felt a little bit stressed some this week. Not so much about money stuff, but which that's still a stress. I just haven't felt as stressed. But you know, just other stuff, other life stuff going on, and that kind of stress. But overall, I think I'm doing well with it. I think the big things right now are I would really like to be able to put him down for an afternoon nap, which is like every mother's wish. And in the evenings, it's been much easier to just go to bed with him rather than trying to get him to sleep. Though last night, Scott and I watched a movie and I was able to get him to sleep, and he stayed sleeping with me in my arms, but while we watched a movie on the couch, and that was really nice. But otherwise, I've just gone ahead and taken him to bed. He had one night that was really bad. I couldn't get him settled down even in bed. And I think part of it is he just gets really, really worked up, and then he's trying to calm himself down by nursing, but he can't breathe because he's so worked up, and it just takes a while. So anyways, just newborn troubleshooting. I feel like even with baby number 8, the newborn time is he's just still working out and waking up, and he changes so much every week, and he's growing so much. So we have a well baby visit coming up. He'll actually be 5 weeks old for it, but we have a well baby visit coming up, so I'll let y'all know how that went. And otherwise, things are good. With the kids, we're going to try some new stuff with the homeschool schedule, and we're going to roll out our new chore chart system soon here. So I'll let you know about those things as we get them underway, how those things are going. But otherwise, we're doing pretty good. He's doing pretty good. I'm really glad that he's kind of been peaceful and chill. We're going to go try and record a podcast after this, so I hope he'll stay peaceful and chill. Oh, can you say hi to everyone? Can you say hi? I should probably, I'm not going to do it now because I've already been talking for 20 minutes, but I've been meaning to talk to y'all about diapers. So diapering and ECing has also been an adventure with him. So I'll try and remember to tell y'all about that next week, like troubleshooting and trying to figure out how to keep him from flooding diapers. And trying to get ECing and everything going with him. It's been a little slower with him than with other babies. But on the whole, I feel like I've got diapers worked out now. So I'll tell y'all some about that saga. All right. Are you ready to say goodbye? Are you ready to say goodbye? Let me get you up here. He's so big. He's so big. There's Phoenix. There's Phoenix. Can you say hi to everybody? He started smiling. I don't know if I can get him to smile without looking at him. But that's another fun thing that he's been doing. He's smiling and he's doing pretty well with holding his head up, as y'all can see. But he'll definitely smile if people smile at him, which is fun. And nursing is still going about the same. I still feel like it's pretty crummy. So I think this week my goal is going to be to see if the football hold helps at all. And we'll talk at his well baby checkup about seeing anything going on, like checking on his tongue and all of that. And other things going on to maybe try and troubleshoot. But obviously he's growing, so we're not too worried, and just we'll hope that we can get some things figured out. So with that, we will say goodbye. Go record our podcast and talk to y'all next week. Okay, gals, I wanted to show you Phoenix in the carrier. And as you can see, like I was talking about, I put him kind of up a little bit more. Sorry, I'm totally mismatched and my hair looks horrible, but I'm only going to be home today and it was a rough day. Anyways, so you can see him in the carrier there. He kind of leans to the side still because he's, you know, he can hold his head up some, but he's not holding his head up a lot. But his head's supported on the other strap. I'll show you in a minute. And I've got it crossed under his butt in a Lexi twist, and then kind of over his leg here, and then coming back to the front. I added this to it because I can bring these straps up and around and tie them, but when I do, they put a lot of pressure up here, which causes hard spots, and that really doesn't feel good for a nursing mama. So I'm trying to figure out if I can show you his other side. So you can see he's kind of leaning his head, and try and shift him a little bit, but he likes to keep his head there, or he'll sometimes just have it a little bit more towards the middle. But he's kind of falling asleep now, so he wants to rest it. So that's what he looks like on me. Let me see if I don't know. Maybe you guys can see, maybe you can't see the full carrier there. Let me try putting it this way too. So that's the Phoenix print and the Sleepy Phoenix. But I don't really feel like I need to put him up any higher on me because I can really hear his breathing really well and tell that he's doing fine. And he's got tons of clearance back there. You know, he's not smushed down at all. One thing I do wish, and I can't figure out how we did it, because the first time we put him on my back, Scott helped, and I feel like it was up higher on his head, and I haven't been able to get it up that high since then, even with Scott helping. So I'm not sure what was going on there or what my magic was for that, but I might work on it. If I tie it more right here, he is up a little bit higher, but it hurts my back a little bit more, and I don't feel that it's really necessary. If I put him in the front, I still like putting him in the little potato sack with his legs inside and then wrapping it around the middle of him. But that's harder to do, harder to do safely in the back. So I've also, and like I was saying earlier, if I put him way down here, like have him seated down here, I still feel like he's okay. But because my hips are wider, his legs have to spread more, and I think that that's uncomfortable for him. Whereas like this, his legs really don't have to spread very much. And his legs, it looks like this is holding his leg up, but it's really not. Like if I were to take that down, it's not like it's holding his leg up. His leg is just sitting there. And this one, he's just got a little bit more down. And then the back, like you can't really see, but it's kind of gathered in the back, which is one of the reasons for the Mad-Eye, because it's not stiff. So the fabric, I don't think you can really see, but the fabric's bunched kind of under his butt. And so that lets me bunch it to make it fit him. And he's like, Mom, you're going back and forth and waking me up. So anyways, I am now going to go make a salad for dinner with him on my back. And I did it in my bathroom again so that you guys could kind of see him in the mirror and I could kind of see what I was doing. But I hope that you'll have a great day and I'll talk to you soon.